Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Nollywood Life podcast, the show where we delve into the life and struggles of filmmakers and content creators in Nigeria, particularly the ones that have not blown yet. I am your host, Kevin T. Solomon, and today we are going to be talking about auditions and rejections. The reason why I'm calling it audition and rejections, I don't really know. But this topic for today was recommended, inspired, suggested by someone in my replies on Twitter. And now that I'm even talking about it, I regret the fact that I can't remember his name. But shout out to him. I know he's a him. He suggested on the episode last week that I talk about, or I walk you guys through how I handle the rejections. Obviously from auditions and stuff. But I don't even know how much I personally have to say about that, because I'm just going to put my cards on the table and say that I have never actually been rejected through mail. Actually, I've never actually been rejected. And you might think that, oh yeah, this guy is always getting roles. No, I'm not saying that. I've never been openly rejected. I've never been communicated to that I didn't get a role, or that the filmmakers decided to go in a different direction. I just get ghosted. If I'm not going to do anything in the film, they just ghost me. So yeah, like there's really not much to say about that. This is going to be a very short episode, but I do have some things to talk about though when it comes to like audition, because like the thought about the whole rejection and stuff, and everyone gets rejection, it just got me thinking that I have felt like some sort of rejection per se, but that was only once on this film that I auditioned for. I'm not going to say the name, but a lot of us know that film because it's like a huge franchise, and they had their auditions online this time around. Why this one really hurt me was because they put out the audition, it was on the site, and characters that we love to audition for or read for, their sides were provided and everything. All we needed to do was do a self-tape, record ourselves taking the lines from the sides. Obviously someone will be reading for us, or if you can just take them by yourself, but I don't know, it doesn't make sense for nobody to be reading for you. You chat, do your self-tape and send it over and pray that they get back to you. Yeah, I did that audition. Quite frankly, to me at the time, that was like the best audition ever, because I wanted to kill it. I just wanted to be on this show. I didn't care what role. But what hurt me was after I sent in the tape and everything and was crossing my fingers for a feedback, a few weeks later the trailer to the film dropped, and I was surprised. I was like, is it not just how many weeks ago that they were saying audition? How did they find the time to go through all those auditions, cast, shortlist, shoots, the whole thing in this amount of weeks? I can't remember exactly how many weeks, but I want to believe it was about 3 weeks. It wasn't long. I don't think it was up to a month, safe. But yeah, I was thinking to myself, how did they do all of this in just 3 weeks? Let's go with 3 weeks. How did they do all of this in just 3 weeks? Knowing how film works and how you make it, obviously they shot it a long time ago, and then it was like, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I want to believe, unless somebody comes and tells me otherwise, they had already shot everything, and the whole audition thing was a form of, should I say, promotion for the film. Like, oh yes, you guys were back, we're doing this. I don't want to say the name, but those that know, have an idea, we know. Let's just leave it like that. Yeah, you get why. But yeah, so like that's the only real rejection I've really felt from like a film, because I personally didn't like, till today, unless someone comes to explain it to me, the way I understood the situation, I didn't like how it went, because it didn't make sense to me for a production to put out an audition when they've already shot the film just to get people's hopes up. I didn't like that at all. I felt really bad. But I loved the film eventually. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't hating. I saw the characters that I saw the actors that played all the characters. Even the character that I read for, the person that ended up getting casted for the role, he's actually my friend now. So he doesn't know. So if you think whoever you are, nobody should ask me any question. We are friends. We are friends now. Let's leave it like that. So yeah, that's really the only time I really felt rejection. Every other time, they just ghost me. Like I either get reached out to. Hey, is that correct? They either reach out to me if I've crossed to the next stage of the audition process, or I don't hear anything at all. I don't know if that's supposed to be a thing. I feel like they're supposed to actually be sending rejection mails, because whenever I see online, whenever my friends and other fellow actors are like, "Oh yeah, I just got this rejection mail. I was hurt. I got this and that," and I'm like, "You guys are getting email that you didn't get the role." Ha, Madu. So that means if I was getting emailed to, like, the little heartbreak I already feel, there'll probably be more. Anyway, I don't know if I want to continue to think about that, but anyway, let's just move on, because this is going to be a short episode, like I said. I don't think it's even going to be up to like 10 minutes, but it's going to still be part of the consistency I'm trying to maintain of the whole 20 minutes, under 20 minutes per episode, which is all good, sure. But going back to the whole audition thing and the whole rejection thing, it also got me thinking about auditions and how, to some degree, a lot of them can actually be a waste of time for the actors, because you'd see casting calls and a lot of actors would pull up for the auditions and like give their 100% to try and see if they can land this role. But usually the casting directors and the filmmakers essentially already know exactly who they want to be in their film. The audition process is really just to see if there is some other actor that can change their mind about certain characters, or maybe they just need some people to fill in some extra characters and then you just come and read. But overall, it's kind of heartbreaking for actors. As an actor, I remember I said on Twitter once that I would never go for an open audition because of all the stress they would put you through, and you'd still not, and that's not even like guaranteeing that there's a chance that you might even get to the next stage of the audition process. And then you look around you and you're seeing like over 200 people, almost half of them are coming in to read or audition for the same role you're auditioning for, and there's more pressure, and it's a lot, only for you not to find out that the person that they casted didn't even come for that audition. He was just already picked. Is one kind. I remember during the audition process for The Origin, when all the actors came to read, I mean, the Origin had two phases. Yeah, there was the online audition where you'd send in your monologues, your self-tapes, and then you did shortlist and then contact those that they were interested in to come and read for the characters that were available. And then everyone came, and almost all the actors that came for that audition were like so surprised. Why? Because there weren't much people, first of all, because most of the shortlisting had already been done online, so you're not coming to that place to meet like 200 people with no. I think they were like the reading. God, what is it called? That second phase when you just come for the. I don't even know what it's called. But anyway, when you come to read for the characters, when they give you the sides, they did it. They used 2 days. We used 2 days to do it, and each day there weren't. I don't think there were up to 25 people in the studio for each days. Maybe they were just coming and going, but they all had times and everything. The point is, the way the actors were treated was relatively good. In fact, so good that most of the actors were open about how this is the best audition experience ever, that even if they didn't get the role, they weren't going to be mad because they gave them biscuits. Yeah, there was like refreshment, light refreshment and stuff for everyone. You could just go take some snacks and just chill while you're waiting, because you're going to be there for a while. I mean, at least you need to ginger yourself. You cannot just come for audition and then you just be suffering and then you not get the role. It doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me too. So like being treated like that was, it kind of opened my own eyes at least to the possibility of the fact that you can come for an audition and still be treated well even though you don't get the role. It's a job, yeah, but like I don't know if I like coming to an audition and then standing under sun for like hours, and sometimes I might not even get to audition, and then I'd go home feeling drained. Then tomorrow we'll now hear that they've already cast it. And if you know the actor personally, you'd find out that some of them didn't even audition at all. They just contacted them. I was like, why didn't you just contact them all of a sudden? And then that also discourages emerging actors to not want to go for auditions and not want to send in self-tapes. But I wouldn't recommend not going for auditions and not sending in self-tapes. What I would suggest would be for you to be more hey, English fails me whenever I want to drop bars. You need to be more attentive to the kind of audition that you're going for. What is this production? What films have they done before? Who else has gone for an audition with these people? How did they treat people? How is their casting process like? Is this an audition that would waste my time? You know, I like now that most of auditions right now are like mostly online. Just sending your tapes. If they like you, you come in for second reading and stuff. So still record monologues. You can post them. I'm not a fan of posting my monologues. I prefer to send them. But a lot of my friends post their monologues and they're like really good. I don't know whether it's because I see my friends' monologues and I'm like, oh my god, my monologue is not going to be as good as this. But generally, I don't enjoy posting my monologues. I just prefer to send them to whoever is trying to cast. But yeah, still record monologues. I think it's important because for you as an actor, it's a way to even like keep yourself refreshed and ready to go. In the day they just call you to say, yeah, come and do this one, when you are ready because you've been practicing over time, you know, doing different monologues. Then if you see audition, go. But I mean, obviously, know the auditions they are going for, but you don't need to go to every audition. You need to be careful the ones you go for so that you don't waste your time and energy. And also, any audition that you're going for, try and go early. I went for I went for an audition recently. I haven't been auditioning. I hadn't gone for any audition in like a year, and I went for one quite recently, and I got there around 5:15 a.m. Very early. Me thinking, and it wasn't far from my house. Funny enough, the place wasn't far from my house, so I got there like really early, and I was just thinking, I'll just be here and I do what I need to do and go. Only for me to get there and see like 15 cars outside. Apparently, people slept over. People are always going for auditions like very early in the morning, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Actors are already at the venue, so I don't know how healthy it is, but if you really want to kill it, you need to try your best to be as early as possible to any audition you're going for, particularly because if you can get there on time and then you're among the very first few set of people to audition, when the producers and casting directors, their energy is still fresh and everything, they can get to see you on time. Because if you come in the afternoon when they're already tired and they're hungry and someone wants to go home, they will rush you, they won't really see what you have to offer, and you're not going to get the role. You might be lucky, but it's best to always be a few steps ahead and just be prepared. That's just my own opinion about me, Shao. If the audition is an open audition, you won't see me there. Although I would still go for some. There's still some like productions that I would really love to work for. So if the audition is open, me, I'll go there. But you see that whole waking up early. I don't have a problem waking up early. My problem is leaving my house that early just to get to an audition. So balancing that is just going to be something I personally would need to work on. But other than that, do what you need to do, but don't go and kill yourself, because if you die, they will cast another person. So you need to balance it. And for now, I guess that's all. I don't have anything else to say. I genuinely would want to have more episodes where I get to interact with other industry professionals and friends and Nollywood people generally. So we're planning towards that. But for now, you are going to talk to me. Actually, I'm going to talk to you. You're not going to say anything to me. And anything I say, you have to listen to it till further notice. But don't worry, I'll try my best to keep you guys entertained and just give you the information that you need while telling you guys my own experience in this industry that we call Nollywood, because it can be fun, but it's also very terrifying and hectic. But it's the life that we chose, so I'm gonna leave it like that. But that'll be all for now. So I guess I'm gonna have to give you guys adieu. And yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this on anywhere else you get a podcast, subscribe to the podcast, and so you don't miss another podcast episode. And if you're listening or watching this in any platform that you're able to comment, leave a comment, ask a question, tweet at me at Kevin T. Solomon. You can also follow me on other platforms like Kevin T. Solomon on literally everything. Hit me up with your questions and topics that you would like me to talk about in the next episode. I will go through them and find out if there are things that I'll go through them and find out if there are things that have information that I can divulge, and I will see if I can get to them in the next episode. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for listening again. I want to do that Gen Z jump cut again to end the podcast. I like how I ended the last episode, so that's how I'm going to be ending all my episodes from now on till I see something cooler that I think is cooler to end the podcast. So that's pretty much how I'm going to end the podcast now.